Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what are modifiers in Java? Let me answer. Modifiers are Java keywords and these keywords can be specified before classes, variables, and methods. On specifying these modifier keywords before these classes, variables, and methods, the original behavior of these classes, variables, and methods will get modified or changed. That's why we call them as modifiers. Modifiers are nothing but the Java keywords which can be specified before classes, variables, and methods. On specifying them, the original behavior of these classes, variables, and methods will get modified or changed. That's why we call them as modifiers. Hope you got theoretically what exactly are modifiers now. There are different types of modifiers, and at a high level, these modifiers in Java can be categorized into two categories, that is access modifiers and non-access modifiers. Under access modifiers, we have public, private, protected, and default. And under non-access modifiers category, we have static, final, and abstract modifiers. So these are the different types of modifiers we have in Java. Now let me practically demonstrate, like I'll take one of these many modifiers and I'll show you how they modify the behavior of these classes, variables, and methods when specified. For example, I'll take this final non-access modifier and I'll show you how this final non-access modifier when specified before the classes, variables, and methods can change their behavior, original behavior of the classes, variables, and methods. Okay. So for that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE and here I'm going to create a new class under one of these projects. Okay, I'll create a class here. Right click and I'll create a new class. So I cannot demonstrate all the modifiers for you in this as an answer. So if you get such kind of answer, if you demonstrate at least one modifier to support this particular statement, right, that will be all good. Okay. So what I will do simply here is I'll create a new class. I'll just name this class as class A. Finish. Inside this class, the class will get created now, guys, in a while. It's loading. Let's wait. Yeah, class got created. Now here I'll create a variable int a is equal to 10. And I will create a method public void sample a method. So I'll just simply write down system.out.println inside sample a method. Okay. Save this. Now we have a class, guys. We have a variable and we have a method. Okay. We have class, variable, and method. Right. So originally, if you see here, for example, if I put public here, public class name, which modifier is there before this class? Public is there. Before this variable, public modifier is there. Before this method, public modifier is there. Okay. So if it is like this, and original behavior I'll show, guys. Okay, when it is public modifier mentioned before all these things, what is the original thing? You can see that right already. I'll just create one more class. Right click new. One more class. I'll just name this as class B. I'll make this class B a child class, guys. I just created a class B here. I'll just drag this. Class B got created. I'll make this class B extends class A. Now what happens is class B becomes the child class of the class A. Class B becomes the child class of the class A. That's good. Now, what I'll do is, you see, since class B is the child class of the class A, all the members of this parent class A are inherited automatically by the class B, right? Because class B is a child class of class A, all the properties or members of this class A are now part of the class B, that we already know. Now, I'll start, you see, till now, public int A is equal to 10 is there. If I try to update the value of 10 here, A is equal to 20, if I say, am I getting any error here? No, I can change the value of 10, A, right? So this is the original behavior of the, okay, variable, let's say. Okay, variable value can be updated generally. But the moment I provide one of the modifier, that is final modifier, you see, I'm getting an error. The final field class A cannot be assigned. That means you can only initialize, but you cannot update the value. Whatever the variable you specify with final modifier with, right? That final keyword or final modifier, right? So the original behavior of the variable will change. Earlier, without final, we are able to update the value of the A. But now, by providing the final here, the value of the variable cannot be updated. You see, I'm getting error. Again, if I remove final from here, I can update. You see, error is gone. So that is one example. Fine. That is one example of how the final one of the modifiers, that is final modifiers, can change the behavior of a variable in Java. Now the same final modifier, if you provide before a method, what happens? Before providing this final modifier, if I try to override this method in the child class, I can do that, right? Public void sample A. Like this, I can create the same method, okay? And I'm not getting any error. You see, the child class is overriding, is having the same method as the parent class. So this is called as overriding, right? You can also write annotation if required, at the rate override annotation. I'll not get any error because this method is clearly overriding the method in the parent class. It's same. But the moment I provide final here, the methods which are specified as final in the parent classes, once saved, you see, I'm getting an error here. The method on making it final, right? The final methods inside the parent class cannot be overridden by the child class. You cannot override this method anymore. The moment you provide final here, that methods cannot be overridden by the child classes. So I have to remove that. Otherwise, the error will not go. So the original behavior of the method got modified, right? Earlier, when final was not there, you are able to override these methods in the child class. But once you provide a final modifier before this method, that methods we are unable to override in the child classes. You see how the behavior of the methods got changed with one of the modifier in Java. Similarly, if I provide final before the class here, before providing final, guys, before providing final, you see class B can become a child class of the class A. Okay, class A can become parent of any class. Okay, but the moment I provide final before a class and save this, you see, we are getting an error, right? You see, the type class B cannot subclass the final. You cannot inherit, guys, okay? So that means class A cannot be a parent of any other class in Java the moment you provide final here. Again, if I remove this, the error will be gone. So you see the original default behavior of this classes, variables and methods is getting modified and providing one of the modifiers in Java. So again, if you come back, what are modifiers in Java? You will not now understood, right? You will now understand. Why? Because I explained this with one of the example final. You can try with different modifiers here that are listed here. I cannot demonstrate each and everything for you. But for example, I took final modifier from this list and showed you how by providing this final modifier before the classes, variables, and methods will modify the original behavior of them, right? So modifiers are nothing but Java keywords. When specified before classes, variables, and methods, will modify their original behavior. Okay. So hope guys, you got the answer for this question with practical demonstration. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye.